Hello Year 5 and welcome to Tuesday's English lesson. So today we're going to be using actions to make insights into a character. We're going to be playing detective. You're going to need to quickly watch the video again to refresh your mind, and you might also want to do so at several points during today's learning. So what do we mean by making insights into a character? We're going to be using the actions, the things that the character does in the story or in the video, to understand their feelings and their emotions. Some writers call this show not tell, which I believe we've touched earlier in the year. So here's an example. Showing. As his mother switched off the light and left the room, Michael tensed. He huddled under the covers, gripped the sheets, and held his breath as the wind brushed past the curtain. So that's an example of showing, and from that we can make some educated guesses about how Michael is feeling. Alternatively, we could just say Michael was really scared of the dark. I want you to think about what the difference is and why you think writers might use show not tell. Have a little think for a second or so. Okay. So hopefully you came up with something along the lines of that showing engages the reader, it makes them think more, it gives them their own ideas to try and make their own insights about a character, to try and work out for themselves. And as a reader, that's really important. So when you're writing, if you can include this technique, you really hook your reader in because you're making them think. So let's have a look. Look at this example then, okay, and we've kind of brushed on this already. Which is the most effective of the two, and why do you think that is? So we've looked at the example on the previous slide. Which of these two examples is the most effective description, and why do you think that? Okay, if you need to pause it for some thinking time, do so, otherwise we'll move on. So you get a real sense of the character in the example where you're showing, not telling, where you're making that insight, because you know what's happening and you know that physical reaction, that he's tensed up, he's really sort of rigid, he huddled under the covers. The language that's chosen here in this showing example is really, really helpful to the reader to give them an idea about it. And it helps to paint a really clear picture in the reader's mind as to what's happening and why, so we feel like we understand the character a little bit more. This is much more effective than simply saying Michael was really scared of the dark. So this is something we're going to try and work on today. So what I want you to do is to go back through the video clip if you haven't already done so, and I want you to think about her facial expression as she's dancing in the tower. So in this box you might want to make some notes about her facial expressions, and here you'll need to jot down the feelings or emotions that this conveys, different ones here, so don't just have happy, thrilled, you know, they've got to be perhaps be different ones. And then in this box here, you can use an online thesaurus or a thesaurus you might have at home to find alternative words or synonyms for these, so words that mean the same thing. You might also find it useful to jot down things that she might be saying or thinking in this box here. Okay, the next task then. I just wanted you to structure a sentence really for me. You're going to complete the sentence below. So using perhaps some of the things that we've scaffolded in task 1, have a look at describing her face. Explain how it was. Really go to town. Don't just say her face smiled. Think about how you can really elaborate that, like in the example of showing, not telling, a couple of slides back. And a deep feeling of something enveloped. So this is where your synonyms will come in as being really useful, because you can choose the most pertinent example there, the most effective example that describes really accurately. What you want to try and avoid doing is going a feeling of happiness, because happiness is such a broad thing. Can we make it more specific? Um, is there a better word that we could use there? Then task 3, you are going to find and write some different adverbs which would convey the feelings in these sentences. So watch the girl's body language as she approaches the green balloon. And you can put your adverbs in here. Now, by and large, these adverbs describe how she's going to be doing it. So she approached the nearest balloon nervously, joyfully. Think about the adverbs that you can include there. You might want to use a thesaurus to try and improve that word choice. In the second example, you're going to pick out 2 adverbs to use to complete the sentence. And then in the third example, we're going to separate them. So you're going to start the sentence with an adverb. Think about the punctuation that you're going to need after that adverb at the start of the sentence. Her hands clasped together. How did they clasp together? And then we might want to put, as the girl approached the nearest balloon. So you're going to finish off your sentence using adverbs there. Write out the sentence in full. And then for task 4, you're going to do some summarising. So you're going to give the sequence of actions that show us that the girl realises what her job is and that she must go back inside. These need to be listed in order. And then at the end of the tasks today, you have got a bit of an internal thought process question. So the girl smiles as she takes the balloon. What might she be thinking? And obviously remember to punctuate your sentences correctly using commas or whatever. Try to use show not tell in your answers. So you can see this isn't going to be a 1-sentence job. Through the amount of lines, you're going to perhaps be having a range of emotions that she's experiencing. Okay, you could try and use show not tell to convey sort of some of the things she's doing. So I took the last balloon and my hands were trembling is much better than going I was scared. So think about how you can incorporate that into your answer. And that's all for today, folks. I hope you're enjoying it. Take care now. Bye bye.